I was brought up in Broughty Ferry, just outside Dundee, and I went latterly to the Grove Academy in Broughty Ferry, where I left in 1945, and it came at that time that my father was obviously, parents were very interested in me starting up a career. My father, in actual fact, worked with D.C. Thompson in Dundee. He was an illustrator with D.C. Thompson. He did that for most of his life, and he wanted me to go in for things like journalism. My mother wanted me to be a banker. She wanted me to do anything, in actual fact, which involved being a professional person. And I'm afraid I upset her very much when I became an apprentice nurseryman. Now, that's not terribly understood these days. It was in a plant nursery just outside Broughty Ferry, and I served my time of 3 years there because I wanted an outdoor life. I looked forward to growing things and being with growing things, and I did my 3 years there before I then went on to the Royal Botanic Garden in Edinburgh, where I did a course in horticulture there, and started my career after my training in Dunfermline at Pittencrieff Park, where I worked there for 2.5 years, and gradually I climbed up the tree of life in horticulture. I went from there down to Carlisle, where I had 5 years in Carlisle, and in 1960 went down to London, where for about 10 years I was purely and simply in the horticultural side, but then went on to the general side of recreation, where we became involved in pools, community halls, entertainment, you name it. Cemeteries, of course, were always involved, and I worked my way up the tree there, and I became the chief in the London Borough where I worked. And for many Scots it will be quite amusing, because the name of the borough was the London Borough of Havering. Now, we all know in Scotland what Havering means, but that had nothing to do with it at all. It was named, in fact, after Edward the Confessor had a summer palace down there, and he had it in a place called Havering Atte Bower, which is just outside London in Essex. And all of the names for the London boroughs had to be as old as possible. So this was a very old name, so it became the London Borough of Havering. And I worked for them until I returned to Scotland in 1980 to work in a similar position in Falkirk, where I did the last 10.5 years of my professional life. But the philosophy of it always was I wanted to improve the quality of life. It was my greatest joy always to take something and make it better than it was before. So much so that, for example, in Falkirk we became the best large town in the Britain in Bloom competition in 1989, and we beat such places as Bath and Bournemouth with the floral displays and the general overall presentation of our town. So that really was a great fulfilling moment. I retired in 1990, so I've now been retired for 25 years, and I look forward to continuing on into old age, because in about a week's time I shall be 86 years of age.